Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Testing. Testing, testing. Testing. Okay, the stream is finally fixed. Okay, let me know if anyone is in chat, if you can hear me okay. Looks like we're good now. Alrighty. Okay, cool. So let me lower the music a little bit. So basically, what we're building is a BMI calculator, and I'm building it in Java and Android Studio. So I basically have the layout pretty much complete, and the only thing missing now is just to actually make it work, like the logic on the back end. So here is the app running in the simulator. Let me close it and open it again. BMI calculator. You open it, it's a number, so you can do that. Check it, click calculate, and this is the part where I'm kind of getting stuck with. Basically, I'm trying to get the value that the user inputs to appear in my text view right here. And that's what I'm working on right now, actually. So I'm going to put that on the side on my other screen and kind of just work on the back-end code here. So this is what I was able to come up with so far. So basically, looks like there are 3 people watching, so that's pretty cool. I didn't expect anyone to come on the channel that quickly, but that's nice. Okay, so here basically what I do is I am locating my 2 inputs, the weight and height, and right here this is where I'm getting the value of each one. However, I think those should be moved down here. Let's see. So how's everyone doing in chat? we'll do a quick test. 140. Oh, there we go. I see. I see. So the issue I was having earlier is that I was declaring these two values outside the onClick function. Flight sim. Yeah, I'm not doing flight sim today, Level. It's good to see you though. Actually, I might. No, actually, I won't be. Even if I want to stream flight sim, I won't be able to because my streaming PC is pretty much tearing down. Yeah, I haven't flown in a while actually. Okay, so we have our weight input and our height input. Pretty cool. So basically what we could do is we could do BMI result and have that equal to our function right here. So basically we could do that. Value of that's pretty cool. Okay, let's try that. So we'll do 140 and then 74 and then calculate. Ooh, this is pretty nice. So it's pretty much working. However, we want to trim down the BMI result down to only to show only 2 decimals. I think 2 numbers after the decimal is what I mean. Okay, but this is cool. The fact that it's showing the number is pretty cool. Alright, so what we'll go ahead and do is let's see. So the BMI result will store the BMI value. We can get rid of this console log statement and result, and I'm gonna have my result variable equal to so how do you trim down a double in Java? Okay, let me do a quick Google. Show only 2 digit after decimal. Let's see. Oh man, we have to use this class called decimal format. Okay. New decimal format. Oh. Interesting. Oh, is it because it's... Nope. What are we... Oh, why did it switch? Oh, that's so weird. It switched to... Sorry about that. That's strange, it switched to only webcam by itself. Nope. Okay. Hopefully it doesn't do that again. What are we doing? We're making a BMI calculator app in Java, and basically I have the layout or the design of the app pretty much completed, and the only thing left to do is wire things up on the back end and actually have it calculate uh, BMI based on the values you give it. So here you can put in your weight and height, and based on that it gives you your BMI. So we just got it to work. So if you put in here 150 and you calculate, it actually gives you your BMI, and this is actually a correct value. However, what I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to trim down this value to only show two numbers after the decimal instead of all of these values. I think it's unnecessary. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Um, Once I have that working pretty good, my next um, my next feature that I want to add is I want to have it so that it can calculate BMI based on imperial units or metric. So if you choose metric, obviously you'll put in kilograms and centimeters for weight and height, and if you use imperial, you're gonna be putting in pounds and inches for your height and weight. So that's that. Let's see. Let me know if the audio is okay for people that are in chat. Hmm. I see. So we have to return back a string. Okay, that's fine. As long as we keep our parameters double, that should be fine. Okay, so let's try this again. So I'll put in 140 and 74 inches. Perfect. That's beautiful. So that's pretty good. So that's actually working pretty well, in my opinion. If we go here, change it, obviously calculates, well, we didn't. Perfect. How much will it cost me for this app? I'm not too sure if I'm gonna actually put this in the App Store. I may put it, but I'm just really doing it to practice writing Java and also just play around with Android. So, I mean, if I do release this in the App Store, it's gonna be free. I'm not gonna charge for this app because it's pretty simple. I mean, you could calculate your BMI online. There are a ton of websites you can get your BMI calculated at for free. So I'm not gonna charge anything for this app, but I'm not too sure if I'll be putting it on the App Store yet. So I think we're pretty good here. My next step was going to be to add a status. So basically here, when you calculate your BMI, I want to have a status under here that shows whether your BMI is normal or moderate or high. So I want to look up, and this should be simple because basically I think we could create a switch statement that would see the range value of the number of the BMI, and based on that number, whichever range it falls in between, it will just show a specific message, one of the three, whether or not it's normal, moderate, or high. So yeah, the thing I'm thinking about now is just whether or not it will whether or not it would be wise to, well, not wise, but whether or not the status of BMI is how do I say this? Let's see. Whether or not the status is based only on the number or only on the number in comparison with the age. I think it's the number with comparison with the age, because having a BMI of well, that's crazy high. I think having a BMI of 25, actually no, I don't think it affects it. Let me do a quick Google and see. Status chart. Ooh, I see. Oh my god, I don't want to see those ads. Okay, so this is what I'm looking at here, guys. So this is the chart that actually shows you your status. So basically it's 4 different status: underweight, normal, overweight, and obese. And my theory was actually right. So we don't really care about the age, we only care about the BMI number. So if your BMI is between 18.5 to 25, that's normal. If your BMI is between 25 and 30, that's overweight. And if your BMI is 30 and above, then that's obese. And if your BMI is less than 18.5, it's underweight. So I want to show these messages to the user based on the BMI that comes that gets returned out. So let's go ahead and kind of think of a strategy here on how we're gonna do that. First of all, I think we need to have a text view down here. I think we should have the body mass index. I'm thinking whether or not I should have the body mass index and the status right next to each other or below each other. I'm not sure. What do you guys think? Let's see. Also, I think the spacing between those should be a little bit less. Maybe 15 be good enough. I'm not sure. Also, the colors, for anyone that's wondering, those are not the final colors. I'm planning to change those. I don't really like the colors. But I'm leaving that all the way to the end. I'm not too concerned about the colors right now. Let's see, so what should we call this? I don't know. BMI status? BMI status? Oh my god, the OBS thing is really weird. Okay, let me fix this. Hotkeys. Clear. Clear. Okay. I just fixed it, so now it shouldn't go crazy again. Is there any way I could make it center? Like dead end center? Oh yeah, well, forgot to add my constraints here and there. Let's see, 20 seems like it's good. And landscape, it's gonna be crazy bad. Like, it's just gonna be horrible. I don't know, what do you guys think? Should I have them next to each other then? I don't know. Okay, let me make this 20. Let me see how that looks. Oh my god, that's very tiny. Okay. Alright. Let's bring it back. Wrap content. Wrap content. I want to make this 5. Yeah, that didn't make much of a difference, but oh well. So body mass index will be right there. I think this should be a 10. I think that's starting to look good actually. I quite like it. So body mass index, BMI status. And down here we'll have another one of these. By default, I want to have it be none. Oh man. I think I made a mistake. So this is now, okay, that sucks. Android Studio seems to be very heavy now, I don't know why. Yup. Oh man, okay, let me see. Okay, I think we're good. BMI status. Oh, I see OBS is taking up a lot of frames. So how's everyone doing in chat? How are you guys doing? This is the first time I'm doing a programming stream. Is anyone here watching that's a programmer or have done Java development before? Be curious to know. Also, let me know if the audio is coming through. Okay. So basically what I want to do now is I want to have it so that by default let's call it. Yeah, let's just call it status, find BMI status, and by default I want to hide let's see. Let me first set up I want to declare it under here. So a string BMI status BMI status will take in the BMI double dot parse double BMI result, and it's going to return a string. So we'll do public string BMI status, and it will take in a double of BMI, and here we can have three different values. So I'm going to go ahead and do the lazy version first. So let me bring up my chart here. If BMI is less than 18.5, oh, BMI is, let's see. Let's see, let's see. So underweight is BMI less than 18. Normal is BMI 18.5 to 25, and over weight is BMI 25 to 30, and obese is BMI 30 is BMI greater than or equal to 30. So we first start off with the underweight, then we do Okay, so it looks like we are, oh, status, status. Alright. Um, I see. That does it. So obviously this is not the cleanest way of implementing BMI status, but I would make it throw an exception if it's none of those things. Um, that's a good point actually. Um, that's a good point. The thing is, if I throw an exception, I don't really want to interrupt the way the user interacts with the app because of that exception. Um, so I want to show them something. Else return unknown. Okay, that's actually pretty good. I like that. Okay, so let's do else if, like we had before, BMI bigger than or equal to 30 B's, and then else status unknown. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so now that we have our BMI status function working, we'll go ahead and do status set text string. Well, BMI status is already a string, and actually I don't need this either since BMI result is already a string. So yeah, that's actually pretty good. I have a good feeling that this will work pretty nicely. So let me bring on the emulator and do a hot reload. Let's see. Okay, so we'll go ahead and put in 140, which is how much I weigh, and 74 inches, which is my height. Calculate, and actually it's working pretty nicely. Wow, that's pretty good. Okay. Yeah, it's showing underweight. I think the spacing between BMI status and the actual status is a little bit too much. Maybe we can match it with this. And then the next feature that I want to have is I want to basically have a drop down selector to allow the user to choose between metric and imperial units, and based on those respectively I will have I'll calculate um, the values accordingly. Also, another thing I want to do is when the user first opens the app, so let's go ahead and close the app completely. So if we close the app and we open it, you'll see that the body mass index shows, and it's there for no reason. So what I want to do is, by default, I want to have body mass index and its value, as well as the BMI status and its value, hidden until the user clicks calculate, and after that then it shows it. So by default it should be hidden. So let's go ahead and do that. Is there a hide function? Set visibility. Oh, I see. What is the... I'm assuming 1 will show it, 0 will not. Okay. Set visibility to 0. Oh, I see. Set visibility view dot gone. Gotcha. Nice. So wait. So what other options do I have besides view dot gone? It was shown before. Oh, view dot visible, view dot invisible, view dot gone. So what's the difference between view dot invisible versus view dot gone? View dot invisible. Okay. View dot invisible. So that's gone means it doesn't calculate into the layout. Oh, I see what you mean. Gone completely removes it from the layout tree. Gotcha. Gotcha. But invisible just hides it, but it's still there. If it's invisible, it will still matter for the layout. Gotcha. So it will still be loaded into the layout tree, but it's not gonna be shown. It's just gonna be invisible. Okay, makes sense. Gotcha. Thanks. Okay, so status, set visibility, view dot invisible. So those are the actual values. What I want is I want to also load in the labels. So body mass is BMI status label. BMI label. Okay. So text view BMI label and BMI status label. What's this for? This is for a BMI calculator app. So I want to create a BMI calculator app on Android, mainly just to kind of learn Android by making a project, and also oh, you mean I mean assignment or just learning? Just learning. It's not an assignment. I'm not submitting this to anyone. It's just having fun, really. Find view by ID r.id dot BMI status label. There we go. I think we should have the invisible code all the way at the bottom. So I think we should even put it after the button. So So now that we have them invisible, the moment the user clicks on the calculate button, what I'm gonna do is we'll do BMI label set visibility to view dot visible, and basically I'm gonna do that for 4 fields, and this already is kind of smelly code. BMI status. Okay, so now those are good, and then after that the result will set the text and we're good to go. So let's actually test it. This should look good. Nice. So put in my weight, 140, and then my height in inches, calculate, boom. That's pretty cool, not gonna lie. I like that a lot. It's starting to come together nicely. And if we put in a higher weight, I want to just test the BMI status thing that it's working good. Okay, nice. So it's actually, let me put in 190. Okay, let's put 290. Okay. Now let me put 4, so it's still okay. Now I haven't tried if we do 10. Well, 10 will be under it. So I don't really see any test case that would kind of break our limits here and show unknown. Although it is a good fallback way of not running out of options, but I don't think the user would ever actually see unknown unless they enter text, which is not possible because the input is limited to only integers or doubles. So looking good, thank you. Thanks. Yeah, I actually think it looks pretty freaking nice. I like it. It's starting to look like a pretty legit app. Let me try it one last time because I like that visibility thing. I think it looks pretty nice. So you open it, you don't see anything. You put in, well, I want to see what happens if you just click calculate. Ah, I see. Okay, so this is a problem. This is a problem. So if you calculate, well, I see what's the problem. I see what's the problem. Basically here, we're doing all of the stuff, whether or not these fields are empty or not. Open up logcat. Oh, let's see. Let me do the test case again. It just shows application terminate. Oh, logcat. My bad. Well, I can, without even looking at logcat, I think the issue is really from not having values here. So basically I'm like calling functions and doing all sorts of stuff when I don't even have it. You know the problem anyways. Yeah, it's kind of clear. So basically what we want to do is if user weight and user height. Oh, I see. We cannot do makes sense, makes sense. We'll just do user height is empty. So we'll do wrap the whole thing in an if statement. Yep, that's exactly what I'm doing. That's exactly what I'm doing, shrewd user. So basically, boom, that basically fixes it. However, if they don't put anything, I still want to show them something. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the result to set text and say, please enter your weight and height in order to calculate BMI. And that basically should fix it. String literal and set text cannot be translated. Use Android resources instead. What does that mean? It's not giving me any. You need an else on that. Yep. Okay, let's build that. See how it goes. Get our emulator going. Let me close the app and just open it again. Make sure it's good. Okay, so the app is not crashing like it was before. However, our text is not showing the message that I just entered. Results still invisible. Oh. Yep. Good call, good call. Totally forgot. Okay. Set visibility. Wow, it's actually cool to code while stream and have people that are like keeping up with what's going on, because yeah, that's something I would have probably, if I wasn't streaming this and have someone point it out in the chat, I probably would have been wondering for like at least 5-10 minutes to actually realize it, the visibility thing. Okay, pair programming. Yeah, that's it is pair programming. So yeah, this is pretty cool. What's the problem with set text? There is no problem. Please enter. Perfect, so it is working. There is no problem, but basically it's telling me string literal and text and set text cannot be translated. Use Android resources instead. I'm not really sure what it means by that, to be honest. But let's see here what it says. Oh, I see. It wants you to make it a resource. Well, what does that mean exactly? I'm not really sure. Hard-coded. Oh, I see. Do not build messages. Alt enter. Alt enter. Resource name. Internationalize. It just means to make it easier to internationalize. Extracts. Okay. Yeah, I figured it's extracting resource. Okay, let me see. Error. Text text, yeah, is a good r string r dot string dot error text. But where is that? So where did it add that? R dot string dot error text. Yeah, it's in XML. But where in XML though? R dot control click it. Oh, yeah, yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense. Huh. I see. Cool. Oh, I see. So in the strings XML, which this file is right here, it's in resources, values, and strings. I know. Yeah. Okay. I've came across this file before. Um, oh, so basically, when you want to add like literal string values, you add them here, and then you reference it through here. Interesting. I like that actually. I think that's a much cleaner way of doing it. That's cool. So everything is tied to this R um, object, I'm assuming. Layout is attached to it, IDs are attached to it, everything is pretty much tied to R. So, I watched a few tutorials on, yeah, it's just so you can make translation XMLs, R equal resources. Gotcha, gotcha, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I watched a few tutorials on Android before, but I haven't gotten nowhere near as detailed as I have been doing so far. Like I've never gotten over set visibility or anything like that. And this is actually the first time I thought it would be cool to learn like Android just by actually doing stuff um, and looking up like stuff on Stack Overflow and whatever whenever I run into trouble, instead of like watching tutorials, because like I've been learning other languages for school and assignments and stuff like through tutorials and literally just following the tutorial videos, and I kind of get bored of that quickly. I think this is a much more easier way to learn it, and it actually sticks better. Like I'll never forget about the set visibility or like or the resources. That's actually pretty cool. Definitely just jump in and write an app. Tutorials only get you so far. Yeah, that's very true. And I also found that reading documentation is really like just super helpful. Like it's way more powerful than watching tutorial videos over and over. Um, like I mean, some frameworks don't really have good documentation, but the majority, like if you read the documentation well enough, it's much better than watching a video. Um, but yeah, that's pretty cool. Let me just reload the app and see if it still works the same way. Perfect. That's nice. So, I think it looks good. The text is a little bit too crazy, but let me try now put in values. Wow, look at that. Isn't that just beautiful? So completely just changed everything. I like that. Okay, let me remove that again. So if you put in value, if you don't put a value, it will show this, and then I see. So I think what we should do is after that else statement, we should just hide the elements in case. Visibility problem. Yeah, I know, I figured. We'll just hide all of the text views if the after the if and else statements. But the thing is, if we do that, this is where data binding and simple architecture would help. Yeah, I'm not really that far into it yet, but I know what you mean. I'm sure there are much easier ways of handling something like that. And to be honest, I mean, for this kind of project, it's not like the end of the world. Otherwise, you'll end up with lots of if statements and big main activity. Don't do it now. Yeah, I don't think it's necessary to do it. Because I know what you mean. Uh, Having like even I don't even think it's kind of clean to have 4 different set visibility statements. I think it's kind of repetitive and unnecessary, and there has to be a cleaner way than that. But I'm not gonna worry about it too much. I think it's good enough. So the other feature, well, actually, let me decrease the value here. I forgot to do that earlier. So we'll make that 10 instead of 20. Okay, looks good. You guys like this music? I don't really like it. What do you guys like to listen to? Any jazz fans here? I like to listen to jazz music. Let's see what's on Spotify. What's in the chill category? What do they have? Jazz vibes. Let's see what this channel has. Yeah, this is more my type of music. Okay, so now that the spacing is good, so the next thing I wanted to add is basically have a drop down of some sort that would oh, that's interesting. I'm getting warning. Hard-coded text. I see. Oh, it's the same problem we were having earlier. So, yeah, I guess we could fix it now. Okay, let me fix it now. It's the same issue as before. Yep. Oh, you think we should ignore it? Yeah, I think for such a basic app, we could ignore it, at least for now. Maybe after I finish implementing all the features I want, I could fix that at the end of it. And also one other thing I want to do, probably not like now, but I want to do it once I finish adding all the features. I want to add some tests. I want to play around with adding tests on for both Android and the actual calculations we have here. So I want to actually test this calculate BMI a couple of times and write some tests and test the BMI status as well. Unless you're planning to translating it into other languages. No, I'm not. I don't even think I'm gonna be releasing this on the App Store. Testing that main activity will be very hard in unit tests. Oh, really? You'll need to use something like Robo Electric. I'm not sure what that is, but yeah, I can kind of see how that could be difficult. To be honest, I don't really have that much experience with testing in general. Like I haven't done tests. Like I don't really write tests for anything I do ever since I began writing software, which hasn't been that long, but yeah. Well, you can do screen tests just fine. Yeah, I've heard of screen tests. I've never done any testing, as I said, but I've heard of screen testing and also integration testing, which sounds interesting, but I've never done any of that stuff. But testing is something that I've actually been wanting to do for a long time. I think it's crucial, and for shipping larger apps, obviously not this, but for shipping larger apps, I think it's crucial. Okay. Pull the BMI stuff into its own class. I see. I thought about doing that. Okay. Yeah, because of all of this stuff, right? Then you can test that class in a unit test just fine. Makes sense. I see. Yeah, like these should be in its own class. Okay. Yeah, that won't work in a unit test, that's right. Gotcha. Okay, we can go ahead and do a Java class. BMI, should we just call it BMI, or I think BMI is fine. Okay. BMI calculator. I think BMI calculator is more descriptive. I like that. Okay, BMI calculator. So we'll have two fields, weight and height. And status. Now we'll go ahead and we'll generate, oops, we'll generate getters and setters, and for the constructor, just have a function that takes height and weight and returns a string. I see. So you don't suggest having getters and setters, right? Yeah, actually, that makes sense, because we're never gonna actually use getters and setters, because it's not something that's going to be it's not that. Yeah. Okay. Alrighty. So weight, height. So let's move. You already wrote that function, really? Yeah, I'm basically just gonna copy the functions from here, implement the decimal format, calculate BMI. Well, we'll definitely need a constructor. If it's in its own class, then you can unit test it. Yeah. I totally understand what you mean. Looks pretty good. Yeah. No constructor needed. Well, actually, if we don't have a constructor, then we don't need those private fields, because, well, those are just unnecessary. Oh, so it's basically, I see what you mean. Yeah, well, we're basically creating a utility class that just does some calculations. Gotcha. Makes perfect sense. And those are public. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we'll do... Yep. Okay, let's see here. Let's go ahead and remove those. It's just so you can separate your concerns and write better tests. I gotcha. BMI calculator. Oh, we'll need to initialize it first, right? Oh, no, we have to make it static. Static. Forgot to make them static. If you want to do it that way, make those... Yep. I was just about to do that. Because I realized right away we have to make an instance, and I don't want to make an instance. From what I've been reading and watching online from about sorry, there's a lot of lag. No, it's fine. I know there is like I watch a lot of streams on Twitch too, so I know there is like a couple of seconds of lag, and sometimes it could be more. Yeah, from what I've been watching online and stuff, I have read that you wanna, when you're developing on Android, you wanna try to avoid using the word new and actually making new instances as much as you can, because in this case you're not writing a desktop app where it's okay to like make instances of stuff when you have a ton of RAM. On mobile devices, each time you make a new instance of an object, I mean, you're really using resources that you can try to avoid if possible. So it looks like we've been streaming for 1 hour and 12 minutes already. That's pretty cool. It's nice to be streaming for that long and actually do something productive. Okay. So we have our class good. And I see we have... I'm gonna leave those for now. I don't really like them the way they are written here. Like, I'm basically writing 4 lines for visibility and rewriting them right here and again here. But I wouldn't worry about making new instances, only avoid it when it makes sense. Gotcha. Yeah, that's what I've been hearing too, especially on Android development. I mean, if you're doing stuff on desktop or stuff like that, it's not like that big of a concern, because most likely computers nowadays, I mean, minimum you have 8 gigs of RAM or more. So even if you do it unnecessary, initialize an object that could have been prevented, it's okay. You still have resources to kind of make up for it. But doing that on Android can be pricey on resources. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave those for now, the visibility stuff, and I'm just gonna, I know it should work, but I'm just gonna test the application one last time before I move on to the next feature. Just to make sure everything is working correctly. So that's good. And 74. It's good. Okay, so we're doing good. One other thing I wanted to do actually is basically the user does not know when you first open the app. The user doesn't know whether this is weight or this is weight, which one is which. I want to label it. So the way I had it before was I actually had hard coded in right here the actual label, so it was like that. But the thing is, if I start the app now, you'll see that the problem is when I actually try to select it and I type in stuff, it's actually it's not, it's basically I'm inputting value on top of what's already there. It's not like HTML where you can put placeholder text. Put it in the hint field. That's a property called hint. Oh, I see. I saw that. I saw that. Oh, so hint is what's used as placeholder in Android, right? Okay. Yeah, hint is right there. I saw it. Oh, right there. Nope. Right there. Oh. Oh, I see. That's nice. That's very nice. Yeah, because I was wondering, like, I kept searching for something that would be called placeholder. Cool. Okay, so the next step. Thanks for that, by the way. Thanks for that, shrewd user. Okay, so that's good. Let me just test it really quickly. No, I think it didn't reload. Nice. I like that. That's pretty clean. Calculate. That's very clean. I like it. Looks nice. And what happens if I delete it? Oh, okay, it goes back to... So just like HTML placeholder, it functions the same way. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So by default, I want to actually have it. Well, this brings us to our next feature. So what I want to do is I want to have a drop down where users can select whether they want to use imperial units or metric, and based on that I want to calculate the values accordingly. So also here I want to remove this, so no need for that. Also, let's status enough should be good. Okay, I think it's enough of making the UI look good. Let's just keep it simple. So let's see here, we want to make a drop down menu. A drop down, or kind of some sort of a way for users to choose whether or not they want which unit they want. Spinner, let's see what the spinner does. Oh, I think that's it basically. Okay, nice. Okay, so I want to have the spinner be at the top and have that constrained to the sides. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I think 20 will do. Okay, that looks pretty nice. Drop down width. So I don't actually want it to be that wide. I think 200 should be enough. Okay. And so we want it to be a drop down. And let's see, entries. So the entries, I'm assuming, are the options. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and set the options actually to be I'm gonna set them up in the code, so that way we can add them. Oh, I forgot to give this an ID. Let's call it measure unit selector. Let's just call it measure unit. Spinner measure unit find view. Alright, that I'm starting to get the hang of it. It's pretty cool. Like resources are tied to R, and with R you can access layouts, ID attributes in the XML, and it's pretty cool. I like it. Measure. Oops, nope. Why is it? There we go. Now it's good. Anything in XML gets compiled to R, basically. Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah. Now the next thing we want to do is measure unit dot add children. So we want to add options. Let's see what kind of methods we have. Let's see. The way they call it here was entries. Okay. Oh, it's complaining about the button. Oh, I think that's just because we're writing this. And let me do a quick Google. Spinner, add entries. How can I add items to spinner to enter it? Okay, perfect. Wow, this actually has everything. Okay. Okay, so we can create an array, a string array with the unit options, and we'll do new string and this will have our two unit options basically, and the two units we'll have is imperial metric. So those are the two units we have, and it looks a little complex just looking at documentation. Yeah, I'm actually looking at a Stack Overflow question, and somebody actually asked it before. So basically, well, let me show you actually. This is what I'm looking at right here. So, wow, this screen is a lot brighter than my other one. Okay, so basically they're creating a string array with the values, and this is the spinner, and it's creating a new adapter, array adapter, which I have never heard of before. Huh. Sorry, I just hit the mic. Interesting. That does look pretty complicated. It's not too bad. Yeah. I'm just not familiar with the array adapter. I've never used it before. But you'll have to create a view for that, for the spinner. There is surely a simpler way. Yeah, I'm thinking the same way too. I found another option, spinner definition in the layout file. This looks much simpler. Adapter equals adapt views to a layout. I see. I see what you mean. What time is it? 12:38 a.m. Okay, wow. Time has flown by. But I'm actually enjoying this, so I'm not gonna stop the stream anytime soon. So it looks like we can do it right in XML. It's pretty static, but we don't really care. I mean, I only need to add two values, imperial and metric, so I don't care if they're kind of static or whatever. So what we could do is we could go to our resources and have string array, call it measure units, and inside that we'll have 2 items. Nope, only 2 items. Imperial metric. Now here here we can do actually we can do it directly in XML. Nice, it actually picked it up automatically, which is cool. I mean, you gotta love Android Studio. It's pretty nice. Okay, so actually we don't need this anymore. So how can we access measure unit? Let's see. Measure unit dot is there a get value? Huh. Android spinner axis value or view value. Let's see here what comes up. How to get spinner value. My spinner that gets selected item that toString. I see. Man. Okay. The reason I'm laughing is because like a lot of, if you look at the code here, you'll see that a lot of these values I have to like actually bring them in first and then initialize a whole different value and like call the toString on each one. But I guess that's just Java, you know. I'm not complaining. I like Java, but it's, you know, it can kind of get repetitive. You need to put a listener on it. Oh, that's a good point. Move to Kotlin, dude. Yeah, I mean, I'm not against Kotlin actually. I think Kotlin is great. I never used it, but I've seen people code in Kotlin, and I think it's really cool. I'm more excited about a new framework that I saw someone here use to build an app called. The framework is called Flutter, and it looks pretty cool. I'm planning to dive into that at some point, but I just, you know, I just like to use Java. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, so you said we need to put a listener on that. Measure unit dot Well, in this case, it would be not on click, but on change, on hover change. No. I haven't used Flutter yet. Yeah, have you heard about it though? It's pretty cool, right? Set on item selected listener. Set on item. On item selected listener, I see. Is it... And then what would be the actual listener though? Yeah, people are talking about Flutter a lot, but I'm wondering if it will be a thing or if it's just go the same way as Xamarin or React Native. I actually think it's not gonna be as React Native or Xamarin. And the main appeal for it is because it actually compiles to native code, which neither React Native or Xamarin have been able to do from what I know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they are kind of a wrapper somehow on top of native code. But yeah, uh, I know React Native has gained a lot of popularity, but um, Flutter, in my opinion, is definitely unique. It's not. It hasn't been like done before, in my opinion. On item. I see. On item selected listener. Man, this is so much code. Okay. Okay, so on item selected, we'll need to do... Okay, I mean, it doesn't seem that bad. Basically, we'll need to see which item is selected, and based on that, we'll do... Okay. So I'm gonna go run to the bathroom and be right back. Yeah, don't go anywhere, guys. And I'm back. Okay. Looks like we haven't dropped any frames, which is good. Okay. Let's see here. So... looks like we need to... Objects, unit, set a value from there, I guess. Make a or string or something and set it when it changes. Check that in the onClick maybe. So I'm looking here and it shows that they created an item and basically they were able to get the value from the parent and then position, and I'm guessing if I put the dot toString after that I can get the actual string value, but I'm not sure. Let me give that a try. Let's see. Parent, get item at position, position. Oh, yeah, just as I thought. Now the unit selected. So okay. So I think the unit selected should be a global variable because basically I want to have access to the unit selected down here. So based on the unit selected, I'll probably modify my calculate BMI function. Okay, let's see. I honestly don't know what that toString will do. Oh, okay, so you think it might not actually... I gotcha. So how about we do this then? Unit selected. Let me actually try it and see. Let me see if even the options are loaded in or stuff like that. Oh, where do we... Oh, it is actually printing out. Oh, it's perfect. Yeah, no, it's running good. Just put a breakpoint. Just put a breakpoint there. Oh yeah, yeah. No, it's working. I can see. I know what you mean with the breakpoint. I don't know. Sometimes I find writing to the console easier, but I think you're alright. For it is wiser to do a breakpoint because I see there are a ton of stuff being printed in the terminal. So, but it is working. Okay, so I want to have it by default to be imperial. So let me see if it is that way by default. Because I think when I opened it last time it was metric. No, it's imperial. I want to make sure it is. Like, is it random? No. Okay. It looks good. I think it looks good. So the first thing I want to do before I get into the calculations at all is basically, because I know it can be confusing sometimes to know like the exact units. So I want to have when it's selected imperial, I want to have next to weight lb and height in with 4 inches. So let's get rid of this, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have unit selected as a global. Oh, no, it's not supposed to be final. So why is it complaining? Cannot assign a value to final variable. Why is that? No. Cannot assign a value to a final variable unit selected. What if I do this? Still same thing. No, we don't want to do that. Nope. Nah, can't change finals. Yeah, that's what I figured. So how do we do this then? Because basically what I want to do is I want to have access to this variable outside. So basically I can access it here, and it's been ages since I've done Java. That's cool. Well, you seem to know a lot about Android and stuff, so it's cool. If you don't mind me asking, what like what kind of stack do you write in, or what do you do? Let's see. So Kotlin mostly. Nice. C Sharp. Cool. I like C Sharp a lot. I haven't done that much work in C Sharp, but I did write some very small like applications in C Sharp, like nothing crazy, like WinForms applications and some console applications, and it's really amazing. I mean, it's basically Java's version. It's Microsoft's version of Java, but I don't know. It was nice to write in, and I also think the Visual Studio IDE is not much, but it's I was gonna say much better than IntelliJ, but it's pretty much the best IDE I've used, like out there. Okay, let me see, how can I fix this? So obviously we cannot do that. So what we could do is we could actually move this. I mean, no, that's not gonna be good. I was gonna move this inside the onClick, but no, it's no good. Java's annoying, and I think you have bumped into a real issue with the language here. Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. The reason I like to write in Java is mostly because it's kind of universal. So, like, I'm not like with C Sharp. You have to, well, not anymore with .NET Core, but before you really must have been using a Windows machine in order to write C Sharp. With Java, you don't really have to do that, and it's kind of nice. I wonder if you could make the activity implement on item selected listener and do it from there. I'm not sure what you mean exactly. What activity? Can you use a lambda? I'm not sure. I probably might be able to. Uh, it's probably gonna make the code shorter, but I don't think it's gonna fix the issue. Main activity. Under you could make the activity implement on item selected listener and do it from there. I see. Main activity implements listener. Yeah, but even if we do that, would that fix our issue here? The thing that I'm wondering about is, and I'm probably gonna sound like a newbie asking this, but basically when I declare a variable called unit selected here, and it's not final, and I leave it down here, why does it require me to make it final? I mean, it's saying variable unit selected is accessed from within inner class, needs to be declared final, but I don't really get why. There is one hacky workaround for this problem. Okay. That Java people do. And that's to make unit selected a list of string and set the first value to what you want. Okay. So basically have two separate. Sorry dude, but this is Java. Yeah, no, it's fine. I completely understand. Um, but basically, if I understand you correctly, you want me to have like a list of the values, and that's separate from um, the spinner entries, and kind of sync both together, right? So if the user selects something, you know, I kind of understand what you mean. That's not a bad idea. Final array list. Yeah. Let me try to. I wish I no I think I kind of know what you mean, but let me see. Oh, actually in Java 8 we don't need to do that. Or no, this is Java 6. I forgot. Okay. Wondering why it's complaining. Oh, new array list. Gotcha, shrewd user. I gotcha. Uh, we're both thinking at the same rate, man. Um, so I can't name this unit selected anymore. So is what you're talking about basically unit selected dot add this, and I would check the item inside that list. I mean, it would work. It's not. Oh, so it is okay. Yeah, it is. It is hacky. It is definitely hacky. Uh, yeah, but at the same time, it is Java. But you'll have to always add it to the final position and get from the first position. Right, yeah, because it's a list. Okay, gotcha. Um, okay. But that's weird. So let me ask you. So why it allowed us to? Oh, I see, I see. So here it allowed us to add items to unit selected because it's a list. We're adding stuff inside a list. We're not changing string. String is an actual value, like an. I see why this is working, even though it shouldn't because of the final keyword. But I'm not 100% sure that will work. But it should. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, I think, I mean, it has to work. It's just gonna be very, very hacky, like you said. Lists are mutable. Right, yeah, that's why it's actually working. Even though looking at it like that shouldn't work, but okay, it's cool. Um, so here, if we do, so here we'll check unit selected dot. Uh, so we'll have to use the get um, method, and if we're using get, we'll have to use always. You said the first. Cleaner way still might be to make the main activity on item selected though. I'm not 100% sure what you mean by making main activity on item selected. So I can make a, an on item selected listener on the actual activity r dot layout dot activity. No, an r dot layout dot main activity, and add an on item selected way that way. If that's the case, then I mean I could try that, but I want to kind of get this working. You can make the main activity conform to on item selected and then add listener this. Oh, oh, I think I saw something similar to that. No, 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 that's not it. That's not it, no. This is technically the way it's supposed to be done. But I don't know. I think I should just do the array list, even though it's not like a proper way. Let me take a look at the link you just sent. Let's see here. Public class spinner activity extends activity implements. Oh, you want, okay, okay. So you want me to basically create a whole new class. I see. Okay. Not a new class. Replace spinner activity with main activity, and you got it. Let me take a look at this link. I sort of know what you're saying, but I'm not entirely sure if I understand it. But I'll get there, don't worry. Sorry, I don't want to confuse you here. No, it's fine. I'm not confused. I like running into issues like that because this is exactly when you learn new things and you kind of gain experience into specific topics. So no, it's cool. I like running into issues like that because if we never ran into issues like this, I mean, everybody would have been a programmer. I see, this is what you meant. Spinner activity is just their name. For you, it would be main activity. Right. Okay. I see. Um, so you think we should do this instead of the list, right? Yeah, the activity itself becomes the listener, which is kind of, yeah, that's the part I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around. I think it would work, yeah. Okay, let's try it out. Well, let me put this here on the other screen to have it as a reference. I don't want to be embarrassed, but I think it works. No, dude. I mean, if anyone is embarrassed, it would be me because I'm the one writing the code live on the stream. You're just helping me out in chat, so nothing to be embarrassed about, man. We're all learning. So remove your anonymous listener, make the activity a listener. Gotcha, man. Gotcha. So this would not be. This would be down here. Implements at the top. No, no, stop. Wait, so where do I put this public class? Is it inside this class? At the top on your activity definition. Oh, oh, I see. On item. That's what you mean? I got you, my brother. Now add those methods at once. Yep. On item selected, on nothing selected. I got you, man. Yeah, makes sense. I didn't know. I don't know what I was doing down there with implementing a whole new class. Yeah. Okay, so the next thing is so now I can just do what I did over here, which is basically um, I can do I can have access to it from now you can change the string from there. Um, yeah, I can. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I can change the string from here. Yep. Beautiful. Beautiful, man. Don't make it final. Yeah, yeah. Yep. Okay, this is beautiful. I think that pretty much solves the whole problem. Sweet Jesus. Yeah, thanks, man. I learned something new because of you. Thanks. I think this is much cleaner than what we were about to get into. I mean, this was gonna get ugly. I had a feeling it was gonna get ugly. Uh, yeah, much cleaner. I'm gonna bookmark this page. Very nice. Clean is important. Yeah, man. I'm a big fan of clean code. Um, okay. All right. So now that this is good, so basically would have been a snapping colon just saying Java is not made for what we were trying to do. Yeah, yeah. No, dude, I totally hear you. I mean, um, I'm not against Kotlin at all. I'm most likely probably gonna learn it at some point in the near future. Um, did you set the listener to main activity? Uh, no, it's just you need to set the drop down menu, find view by ID. Oh no, I did. Oh, you're talking about the listener? Then set its listener. Gotcha. I got you, man. I got you. Set on item, click listener, and then this. What's wrong? Not just this, you're setting it twice. Oh, I am setting it twice. Oh, what am I doing? I should really focus on this. There we go. There we go. Yeah, I was not reading. I was just typing it over again. Okay. I mean, this is pretty advanced for me. But now that I know how it works, basically what we did is we implemented um, the on item selected listener globally on the whole activity as a whole. And once we implemented the methods, we basically instead of making the listener inline right here and then having issues with global variable access and crap like that, we basically set it to this, which automatically picks up on item selected and on nothing selected. So now I get what it's doing, but it was kind of hard to wrap my head around when you were explaining it to me. um, but this is very clean. I like this a lot. It's hard to read chat and type code. Yeah, you're right. This is object-oriented stuff right there. Yeah, yeah, it's very cool. I like the way it's implemented. I think it's very um, what's the word I'm looking for? Descriptive. Because this refers to our object, and our object is implementing the two methods we just implemented from our on item selector, selected listener. Very cool stuff. All right. So basically, what I want to do is, um, before I get into the calculations, um, let me put this down. Before I get into the actual numbers, what I want to do is I want to have next to weight, uh, check the string, then do the count. Yep, exactly. That's what I'm gonna do. So, but before I do that, I want to change the hint text to say um, LB for pounds and height inches when it's under imperial, and then as soon as you change this to metric, it will go to kilograms and then centimeters. So I'm gonna just worry about the text for now, and then once that's good, I'm gonna go ahead and do the calculations, because that's not gonna be the hard part. Neither is the text, but unit selected equals to um, list O. Should get rid of that. Okay, we'll do the dot equals. Okay. So if unit selected dot equals imperial, we'll go ahead and do the weight input dot set hint set hint and height input dot set. Yeah, I quickly remembered. I quickly remembered that equals equals is not equals equals. I remembered. I took this in class and I'll never forget. Equals equals compares under the hood the addresses of each object. So if I have two objects, equals equals compares the address of this one versus this one, and dot equals actually literally dot it equals, you know. So I'll never forget this because it took me a while to actually understand this from my professor, because he just explained it in this like overly complicated way, and it was so hard to understand it from him. But I practiced like some writing some basic programs and to know the difference, and it was easy after I figured it out. Uh, So height will be in centimeters. Let's test it. I don't learn from school. That's when I'm supposed to be sleeping. I learn at 1 a.m. in the morning. Yeah, that's how I learned too, man. I didn't learn from school that much, to be honest. But the thing is that I liked when I was in school is that they kind of give you these topics that kind of get you fired up and kind of get you wondering, and based on that you kind of go on your own and kind of figure it out and do your research and stuff. But yeah, I agree with you. A lot of stuff that I learned have been from just on my own. Okay, so it doesn't look like it's working. Interesting. I think I know why, but so I think it's because wait input dot set hint takes a char sequence and I'm giving it a string. Now you gotta change it in the it only changes in the on click. You gotta change it in the listener. Oh yes, you're right. You're right. Because I'm not clicking. Now if I click, it actually changes. Yeah, you're right. Man. See, that's one of those things I'll probably been wondering about for at least 10 minutes, if not more. Wait, input. Oh man. I think we just ran into another issue. Oh gosh. I think when you have been programming a while, it becomes second nature. I think we just ran into another issue, Shrewd User. Look at this, man. Yeah, I do enjoy the good topics some teachers put out there, but I always wind up arguing with the teachers rather than being taught. What language is this? This is Java. Take those text views and put them in the class, not on create. No issue. Oh, just move them, you mean? Like that? Okay. Okay. Yeah, that seems simple enough. They can be final. Oh, they can be final? Well, yeah, because, well, they're not string or integer, stuff like that. I get it. Move them all out. Oh, you recommend moving all of these out? Okay. You shouldn't have them in onCreate anyway. Ah, I see. Okay. Oh awesome. Awesome. Well, this is amazing. So let's actually test the app now and see if the text is working. They kind of belong to the activity itself, not on create, if that makes sense. Yeah, now that I am looking at it after moving it, it does make sense because I know the main activity not only implements onCreate, but it does onPause and a bunch of other methods, and it wouldn't make sense to initialize them on onCreate if I'm going to use them um, in other phases um, of the phone, or you know what I mean. Uh-oh. We got a problem. What's the issue? It's time to debug. Okay, it's getting fun. We ran into our first crash. Is the word you're looking for? Life cycle is the word you're looking for. Yes. Yes, exactly. Yeah, the life cycle of the application. So it makes sense to have it all in here. Oh, I think I know why. Because of the final button. I think I know why. Nope. Wasn't the button. It's a good thing we did the button anyways. Logcat. Let's see. You might need to do this find by Oh. I think I know what you mean, yeah. Ah. I see. So initialize them here and then just do the view by ID inside the onCreate. Gotcha. Yeah, I think you are right. Well, in this case, we wouldn't be final. You're taking me back in my memory. You can use butter knife to make it cleaner, but I wouldn't bother. Make them not final. Yeah, I figured. So how long did you code in Java for, if you don't mind me asking? Height input. There are better ways. Yeah, I have a feeling there are better ways. You tend to forget the basics when you don't use them for a long time. Yeah, that's very true actually. Just like me trying to assign um, a value um, of a variable that's declared final, which is so obvious that you cannot reassign its value, but for some reason I thought it was, which is a basic mistake that I shouldn't do, but it happens. Okay. But through this application, I'm learning a lot of stuff actually, like the on-click listener. Um, it's very interesting. Um, I like it a lot so far. Where do you live? I'm in New York City. Uh-oh, crashed again. Let's see what's the issue. I think it might have to do with BMI calculator. No. Oh, it's probably because it's the spinner. There we go. Oh, what am I doing? Dumbass. I should do that. I forgot to do those. Oh wait, you're doing that. I think. Oh wait, you're doing that. Never mind. Looks like it's good now. Yeah, I just forgot to make those non um, non-final. Nice. Look at that. Wow, that's beautiful. That's really beautiful and clean. I like that a lot actually. Now if we leave them empty, click calculate, we get our error. If we go ahead and do 140, oh, we cannot do metric, we haven't implemented that yet. We'll do 74. Nice. Very nice. Much nicer, yeah, I know. I think it looks great. Obviously here it doesn't matter if we change it after the fact. Yeah, that way we can kind of give users the option and kind of let them know, like, metric is kilograms and centimeters, imperial is pounds and inches. Okay, so now it's just time to calculate the actual numbers, which shouldn't be that bad now that we've done all of the front end stuff. Okay, let's see. Metric is where it's at. Hey man, I like metric too. Yeah, it's where it's at. You said it. I was just about to do equals equals again, even though we just discussed this like a minute ago. uh, now let me see how. actually, okay, let's see. So, and that's basically it. So that was pretty easy. Okay, now here, this is where we pass in our unit selected. And bam. Now let's see it. Let's see it in action. So I don't actually know my height and weight in metric, even though I should know this stuff. Okay, so it's saying that I just converted in Google, and it's saying I'm 60.50, and my height should be 187 point. Uh-oh. I think I know why. Whoa, you're tall. Yeah, I guess so. Let's see. I see why, because it's being divided by a bigger number. Oh, okay. Mm. Oh no, this is in meters. I am about 180 centimeters, but 78 kilograms. Nice. 78 kilograms, that's 171 pounds. Cool. That's cool. So we're not that far off in terms of height. Let me see. I think I'm doing a calculation error here. I didn't honestly think we were gonna get this far tonight, but I mean, we're pretty much close to being done with the whole app. And after I finish this, I'm probably just gonna work on changing the colors, because I don't really like the colors. Okay. I'm trying to see where my error in calculation is. Oh wow, look this. So I'm using this website to kind of get the idea of how everything is working, and they even have a more detailed category. Oh, this is the better word I was looking for, not status, category. So your category, I'm gonna change it. But yeah, they have like very severely underweight, underweight, normal, overweight, moderately obese, severely obese, very severely obese. I think it's unnecessary to do all these levels. But yeah. So here it's doing meters squared, which is where I'm getting it wrong. Okay, let me see how we can fix this. I thought the first cell said Bill Cosby at first. I see. So we cannot actually take it. So the height will have to be in meters. Let me try something. Because this is working okay. Yep. That's exactly what I'm doing. to be 63. Yeah, it's not working. Even though I'm dividing by 100. Not sure why. Breakpoint time. Yep, I think it is. It's time for a breakpoint. I kept avoiding. I think you're squaring before you're dividing. Oh, is that what it is? I could do that. Math dots. Oh, there is no square function. Square root. Um, yeah, I know. Actually, I was looking for the square function earlier before the stream, and I couldn't find. That's why I did literally just height times height. It's like whatever. It's weird, right? I mean, you would think the Java math function would have it, but I think JavaScript has it, and apparently, oh, like that. Hmm. No, 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 no. Yeah, I understand what you mean. I'll tell you the formula in a second. There we go. I think this will work. Yeah. If this doesn't work, I'll definitely use a breakpoint. Trust me, I will make sure to use a breakpoint tonight. 63, 183, I believe those are the... Voila. It works. That's amazing. Now let's check. If it's the same. Close enough. There were decimal point to make sure it's correct, but I didn't include it. But yeah, it's close enough. It's pretty much correct. So nice, it is working. It's working great. The formulas are clearly approximate. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm using the decimal format and only taking the first two numbers after the decimal point. I'm not. Originally, it was printing a long string of numbers that I thought was unnecessary. I think this is good enough. It looks correct to me. Yeah, it's good. Um, so So I mean, the app is pretty much complete in terms of functionality. I mean, this is what I had envisioned um, to have. It's working pretty darn well. I think this could be a bit smaller in width, but honestly, I mean, this is just me nitpicking at this point. Uh, no, that's too little. 120 is good. Okay, let's see how's 120. That looks, no, it's a little too small. Okay, let's do 140. Let's do 140, and I want to make it center. You could wrap content. Um, yeah, that's for the height. That's for the height. So, I mean for width. Oh, for width, if I do wrap content, it's gonna stretch it pretty much the whole the whole thing. So that's what it was before, but I set a specific size to make sure it's small enough. Um, so I just want to make it center now. There should be an option to do that. Style maybe? No. I mean, if it's not there, whatever, but wow, so many attributes. It's crazy. I think I'm just gonna leave it. It's not the end of the world. Um, so I mean, since we finished the app, uh, and I didn't think we were gonna finish it by tonight, what I'm thinking of doing is have a link at the bottom here, and this is something that I have no experience in, so it'll be a good thing to kind of experiment with. Basically, what I want to do is, oh, actually, let me change this really quickly. Category. Okay, so basically what I wanted to do was I wanted to make a page, sort of like an information page, and this would be good for me to kind of understand how different layout works in collaboration with each other. And basically I wanted to make an about page that would talk about what is body mass index and the different categories, and it would just be a very simple text page. Like, it's not going to be anything crazy, but I think I might create that now, and after that I think that's it. We'll call it a day and kind of end the stream, because I see it's 1:58 a.m., which is pretty late, but yeah. Looks like someone is yelling on the street. Okay. Good stuff. Thanks, Traducer. I mean, you've been very helpful. I don't think we would have been able to finish this app by tonight if it wasn't for the tips and help you've been providing in chat. Thanks. And I think, I mean, once we have that new page up, the new other thing we would do is just write some tests. How's it living in New York? It's alright, to be honest with you. I don't really like it. Um, people hype it up too much, and it's just I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't stay here long term. I just go to school here at the moment, and I'm planning to move out somewhere else once I get my degree. Um, Somewhere where it's a lot quieter and much cheaper. Here in New York, I mean, people just hype it up with like Times Square and Manhattan and the city and stuff like that, but what nobody tells you is that how much money people burn by just living here, and not just living here like a fancy life, living a normal life here. You burn a ton of money for just everyday tasks that you normally would pay way less living in a state like Pennsylvania or Connecticut or any other state, you know. Here, just doing those normal tasks, you burn a ton of cash. And it's super expensive and just overly hyped for no reason. Cool to visit, but I wouldn't live here. Yeah. So we'll add a new screen. Let's see. Fair enough. Yeah. You planning to come live in New York? I hope I didn't discourage you. I mean, you should definitely come and visit. Activity name. BMI. Lol, that's not an option. I have a friend who works at Uber. He wants me to come work there. Oh, nice. That's pretty cool. Um, yeah, man. I mean, also my brother in Seattle at Microsoft. Oh, very cool. That's awesome. Um, well, Seattle. I don't know. I hear people say Seattle is kind of boring and it's raining like pretty much all the time. So I don't know, and it's super expensive as well. So I don't know if I would live there either. But it's definitely much quieter than New York, I'm sure. Yeah. New York, I mean, in the winter, New York is kind of shitty too, to be honest with you. It's snowing and it's super cold. Like, it's not just regular cold where you just wear a jacket and stuff. It's painful cold where, like, you know, even if you're wearing two jackets, like, you just feel cold. I live in Melbourne, so I understand expensive. Oh, nice. Australia, that's cool. I've always wanted to visit Australia, actually. Um, Very nice. Okay. So we have our new screen here, and we'll go ahead and set. But yeah, I mean, you should definitely come check it out here in New York. I mean, to be honest, if I were to choose between New York and Seattle, even though I've never been to Seattle, I would probably choose New York if those were only my two options. But yeah. Multi-line text. I think that might be it. Oh, that's text input. No, we don't want that. Text view is what we want. Where do you live if you had the option? Um, like I said, oh, like worldwide. Um, so I haven't gone like to many places. I've been to California, San Francisco to be exact, and Los Angeles, and I've lived in New York for pretty much my whole life, and I also lived in Florida for um, some time, and worldwide, um, I don't know, to be honest. I'm not too sure. Let's see. California is not bad. Um, I enjoyed my time in California, even though it's pretty expensive also. But I've always been curious to go visit New Zealand and see how it is over there. But I'm not really sure. Okay. New Zealand is pretty great. Yeah, that's what I hear. New Zealand is pretty nice, and I also heard Finland is amazing. Similar to Oz. Not sure what you mean. Oz. Australia. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's similar to Australia. That's cool. Okay. What is BMI? If you get residence in New Zealand, you can live and work in Australia too, similar to the European Union. So, two countries for the price of one. Oh, really? That's interesting. I've never looked into kind of visa stuff or residency, but that's cool. I didn't know they're two. Both of them are um, related in that regard. Interesting. So you could technically go to New Zealand if you want, right? Yeah, anytime. Cool. So, have you thought about living in New Zealand, or you want to move to the US? Australia pays better. Oh, really? Cool. That's interesting. How is the tech scene in Australia? New Zealand, maybe when I'm old. So right, if it was a state in the US, I guess similar to Texas, it has a few large tech companies, some large startups. Nothing compared to the West Coast or the Valley, but it does alright. Interesting, that's cool. So it's a balance between regular city style like Texas and some tech companies. I think I like that better than living in like Silicon Valley, for example, because the thing is, living in an area like that, prices are insanely expensive. Like if you live in Silicon Valley, working for one of those big tech giants, it's pretty much impossible to buy a house or any real estate over there. Like it's just crazy, and people get misled by the big salaries, but they really don't look at the big picture that they're gonna be paying a ton of money on rent and they'll never be homeowners, basically, which is, you know, unfortunate. So let's see, what is BMI? I want to take text from a source that I can easily give copyright credit to. Well, we can get rid of that.
Spotify.
Let's see. Let's take these things out. Um, what was it again? Oh, r that string dot information, BMI information. There we go. Oh, actually, I cannot test this. I think you can actually set HTML into a text view if you want. I forget how. Oh, I can, but you can just have it all formatted. I see. Maybe don't worry about it for now, but you know what I mean. Someone showed it to me once. I see what you mean. Yeah, I can look at that later on. Um, I forgot, but basically I want to create a link at the bottom here that would link to the other page, so that way we can see it in the in the actual app. Otherwise, I'm not gonna be able to see it. Oh, it looks like there is an error here. What's the problem? Render problem. Could not measure units. Array. Oh, I think I know what the issue is. We removed the oh god. Oh man, we're gonna have to create that again. I don't know why I removed it. That was stupid. Just make it a text view or button, and in one click listener create a new intent for your new activity. Gotcha. Okay. I'll do that, but I have to fix my mistake here. Very stupid mistake. Okay. Whoa. What's going on? Java compilation errors. What the hell is going on? Oh, rebuild. Okay. There we go. Looked scary for a while. Or it disappears like that. Why though? That's weird. I mean, it looked kind of scary for a moment. Okay. Text view. Let's create a text view all the way at the bottom. And we'll set it to what is BMI, and we'll have an on-click listener for that. Oh, forgot to name it. Learn more. What is BMI? If you think about it, XML compiles to R, and if there is an error, there is no R. Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. They're connected together. That's why it was only showing red R's over here, I believe. It wasn't showing R here, or it may have been, or I know what you mean though. Oh, text view. What was that? Now we're good. So we'll do what is BMI dot set on click listener new view on click will you said we'll create a new intent for your new activity. Now what does that mean? Yeah, this is something I don't do a lot anymore either. So you don't do mobile development that much anymore? I'm actually pretty new to mobile dev as well. I do mostly um, web development. That's what I have been doing for. No, I still do mobile. Cool. So, but you're doing it in Kotlin, of course, not in Java, which is much easier, I'm assuming. But activities, intents, find views are something you stop doing after you get more advanced. Oh, okay, so you kind of work on some of the more advanced features of mobile development than like uh, basic stuff, which is what I'm doing here, right? It's not like it's basic, it's just that there are higher abstractions that make it easier. Oh, I gotcha. Okay, I understand. So this in theory should work. Maybe we don't need the dot class. You've got it though, that's how you do intents. Yeah, I found I found this snippet on Stack Overflow actually. Um, and this is what the guy wrote. Although it's giving me an error here, I'm not entirely sure why. Oops. I think it's because it implements parse. Is it this? Not sure. No, doesn't seem like it did anything when I removed it. Can you say this at main activity? No, cannot do that. Oh, yeah, that actually gets rid of the error. And over here, yeah, nice, thanks man. You're saving my butt tonight. I mean, this is something I would have spent hours on, easily. I still don't know how it entirely works. It's because this is scoped to the click listener. Right. Yeah, I'm a little bit confused about this. I haven't seen this syntax very much. Oh, I know why. There we go. Now let's try it. When you are in the main activity, this is automatically main activity dot this, start activity. Yeah, I had it start activities. Computation failed. See the compiler error output for details. Uh-oh. Whoa. Well, how do I get rid of this event logger? Why is it complaining? Oh, it's a Java thread. Rebuild it? Do a clean. Let me see how I do that. Oh, I think, oh, clean project. Oh, nice, nice. Perfect. Perfect. Looks like it's good. Now build. Hmm. Nope. Did not work. Oh, couldn't find symbol. Oh, let's see. There we go. This looks like it's an error. Yeah, it looks good now. Now let's... Easy, yep. Uh-oh. Something in our activity. I, I I think my app is it wants me to use a breakpoint. I think it's time to use breakpoint. We've avoided it too much tonight. Null pointer exception. Classic Java. The information activity has a problem. I'm not too sure what could be the problem. Maybe the string? But I doubt it. Oh, let me see. Find view by ID. Oh. I should have picked that one up. There we go. Easy fix. Okay, now let's try this again. Initialize on create. Oh, hey, K Bakery. Hey, welcome in the chat. Welcome to the stream, I should say. Okay, so now if we do... Oh, nice. Beautiful. That looks pretty good, actually. I like that. Oh, now we just need to create another link here. I forgot to do that. But this is pretty nice. Wow. I like that a lot. Very cool stuff. Okay. Alright, well, let's create our button to go back now. Go back. So, I think that's pretty good. I'll go ahead and initialize it here. Text view. Oh, I need to go back. Oh, come on, why is it not doing the, like it's doing the whole thing? There we go. Intent. New intent. Now should do BMI information dot this main activity dot class start activity intent. There we go. That should work. So what is BMI? It's good. We go back. Although I think the text is a little bit too much down. And we'll go ahead and make it the same over here as well. So that was 20 ASP. Make that on 20 ASP. And we'll go ahead and do 20. You're adding a new activity on top when what you want is to pop the current activity off. That's not exactly what you want, I don't think. Oh. Oh, so I'm basically adding activities on top of activities. I see. So how can I like go back or by the way, for K Bakary, since you just came in, we're creating this application. Well, we basically created it, and it basically calculates BMI based on values, and we actually implemented it so that it works with imperial units and in metric units, and not only gives your body mass index but also gives your category, which is pretty wild and cool. So yeah, You should just finish the information activity. Yeah, I'm gonna do that now. I need to clean up the text here. Been a long time though, so I forget. Finish, I think, is a method on the activity. Okay, I'll take a look at that. I'll take a look at that for sure. Man, I learned a lot of new stuff tonight about Android development. I'm sure it's pretty much just scratching the surface, but for me, this is a lot of interesting information. Like we learned about event listeners, a ton of stuff, views, intents. Really cool. Um, so what is BMI? Oops. Much better. Much better. Looks good. Um, I think I should give credit or a link to Wikipedia here. Layout, height, wrap content. Ah, good point. That will basically automatically adjust around the content. Makes sense. Much better than statically defining it. Good point, good point. Okay. And also the width should be the same too. I don't know why I don't have... Yeah, the width should be the same as well. No, 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 because in this case, well, it's gonna be... Yeah, we need padding. But can't we set the padding... Oh, I think we can set padding inside. Oh, width match parent. Let me try that before I go to the padding. Match constraint, okay. Oh, yes, yes, match constraint. Man, you guys are so good. This is amazing. Yeah, that's good enough. Well, I wanted to make it little. I want to give it a little bit more padding than that. Parent works too. Is there a parent? There are no parents. Only match constraint. But you're using constraint layout, so why not? Oh yeah, yeah, I'm using constraint. Honestly, this is the only layout I'm familiar with. Like that's the default ones that Android Studio kind of defaults out of the box. So that's what I've been using. But I did notice there are other layouts like guideline and linear. These are all layouts I might explore in future applications for sure. Uh, but yeah, it's looking really good actually. I like it. Looks nice. I might add a breakpoint so it's like two different paragraphs. So let me add that real quick. And I believe since this is XML, a break line like that will work. Huh. constraint is new. Linear and relative were used before. Um, yeah, I watched a tutorial on YouTube before that was using relative, but then I noticed that relative is actually a legacy. It's in the legacy um, field here. So I'm guessing like Google doesn't really want people to use relative anymore. But yeah, relative shouldn't be used anymore. Yeah, that's what I assumed since it's under legacy. Constraint is a better relative. So far, I like constraint. It's not bad. It it doesn't take that much to get used to it, and it seems easy enough. Like I mean, as a newbie myself, I kind of got used to it within a few minutes. I kind of understood. Oh, you connect these fields together, and they kind of automatically adjust on landscape and portrait. So it's cool. Now I want to see here in the oh I want to see what happens because I never actually used the Android profiler. I want to see if what you were saying earlier, shrewd user, about the views and if it has anything to do with extra memory usage. And I see as I'm doing it multiple times, memory is going up. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I keep pressing back a bunch and memory went high a little bit, but it's not like spiking. It keeps going back down. The memory, I mean, press the actual back button. Oh, oh, I see. So you are right. Because technically the back button should exit out of the app if it's on the first. Let me open it again and test what you're saying. Oh, there we go. Yeah, very good point. Very good point. So each time, yeah. Yeah, we keep putting stacks of, you know, views on top of each other, which is obviously not good. Um, so let me take a look at the method you were talking about since we're kind of done with. Well, I don't need that anymore. But that's pretty cool actually, Android profiler. I'm sure for big applications it's much more handy. Okay. So you were saying intent has a finish. Profiling only comes into it when you're doing very complex apps. Yeah, that's what I figured. No, not intent, activity. Okay. So in the activity itself, it's like what? You won't use intent. So let me get rid of that. Oh, that's it? Really? It's that simple? Wow. Oh, so finish is just part of the. I'm kind of confused, but I mean, if this works. Oh, wow. It finishes the life cycle. I don't know. Yeah, I understand that part, but finish is part of which class or which. I mean, obviously it's part of. I want to see something. What is finish? Call this when your activity is done and you should be closed. Activity result is propagated back to whoever launched you via on activity result. So what class? Okay, so this is the activity class, which is I'm assuming is obviously um, a subclass from app compat activity, and that is being extended by our class. I think about it in terms of life cycle. See how the animation is correct? It finishes activity. Yeah, the animation I noticed was oh super class. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, that's what I meant. I see. So it's part of the super class and automatically it gets added here. Very interesting. The more you work with object oriented programming, the 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 more clear you see how things were architected. Very interesting. It's cool. Okay, that's good to know. Very simple. So let's see what else is. So I wanted to add a break line so that it's kind of um, on two separate paragraphs. Also, I think we should edit the colors. I've been wanting to edit the colors for a while. And I want to make this action bar dark. Let's see. At this point, I'm kind of finished with the actual logic and backend code, if you want to call it that. Uh, so now we're kind of just tidying things up. And I'm actually curious, should I put this on the App Store? I don't know. I mean, I honestly did not think we were gonna get nowhere near this far. I thought I wasn't gonna even be able to implement the whole metric versus imperial, but I mean, we did it. So thanks to shrewd user. Yeah. So I'm thinking whether or not we should put this up on the App Store. I've never put anything on the App Store, so this would be actually my first app. So it's pretty stupid. I wouldn't expect anyone to download this application, but at the same time, it would kind of feel cool to have an app on the App Store, kind of show off to my friends and stuff. Putting stuff on the App Store is a process all on its own. Yeah, I know. Like you have to sign your app and do stuff like that, and make sure you don't have any copyrights and things like that. I know. It's annoying. Okay. No, not layout. We need styles and oh, so that didn't do much. is it? Oh, it's 2:50. Wow, it's almost 3 a.m. Wow, we've been streaming for almost 4 hours. It's pretty cool. I don't think I've ever streamed for that long. Let's see. So I want to make the action bar dark, like black or dark grayish. Oops. No. I don't know. I might just leave it, I guess. Doesn't seem like there's an option to edit it. But I'm definitely gonna change the colors. I don't like the colors at all. Color primary. The accent color. Let's see. What should we make the accent color? I think it should be around there. Yeah, like that. And the dark should be really like dark blue, like that. That's pretty cool. Let's test it and see. I might actually put this on my phone and see. I might test it out on my phone. Let me see. Let me go get my USB-C cable. Test it on my phone as well. Oh, look at that. Looks much nicer. What do you guys think? Do it. Yeah, I'm about to connect my phone up. And let's see. Allow USB debugging. Why not? And let's add it. Okay, so let me... OnePlus. There it is. That's my phone. Okay, so we're about to... Wow. Look at that. Let me see if that's... If you guys are able to see that. Well, I don't need to keep my phone plugged in anymore. The app is pretty much installed on my phone, so... Look at that, guys. Isn't that pretty sick? I literally have my app on my phone now. So let's try it. 140. Height is 74. Calculate. Wow. Isn't that cool or what? That's pretty nice. Now let's go ahead and try metric. 63. 183. Isn't that cool or what? Yeah, it's pretty nice. Now what is BMI? You click on it. Let me see if I can bring up my camera. Yeah, you guys can see better now. So if we do go back, it's pretty nice. It's got that animation. Yeah, it's looking good. Looking pretty nice. Okay. So I think that's about it for tonight, really. Um, yeah, it's pretty cool. So yeah, I think that's gonna be about it for tonight. It's pretty much almost 3 a.m. and I'm kind of getting tired. But I'm really proud of this, and well, thanks a lot to you guys for helping me out build this. And I honestly didn't think we are gonna get this far at all, but I mean, we did. So thanks to you for helping me, and um, yeah, we'll probably do this again. Not sure if tomorrow or some other time, but thank you all for joining me, and yeah, I hope you have a great night or a great day wherever you are, and yeah, see you guys next time. Peace out.